Welcome into Duvall Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here on Tuesday, August 15th. Right now, we are getting to Jaguars offensive standouts versus the Cowboys in their 28-23 preseason Week 1 victory in Dallas. Heck of a game, very fun game. Lot of offensive standouts for the Jaguars in this one. There's no doubt about it. We will get to all of them. Excited to get into it. First, if you enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a show. And if you want to support the channel further, you can check out genjag.com/shop. You can check out our new tie-dye Duvall throwback shirt that is available for pre-order through the end of today, Tuesday, August 15th. Last day you can get it on the site, genjag.com/shop. Check it out. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in, supporting the channel, and supporting us over on genjag.com/shop. It's been awesome over there the last couple weeks. So, the Jaguars, as I mentioned, their offense was really, really good from top to bottom in this one. Yes, there were a few players that did not play at their best. You can talk about Walker Little, Cam Robinson, Kevin Austin, really. Couple of other offensive linemen let up some pressures, but we're talking about the offensive standouts in a good way here. We will talk about some of the negative performances later in the week. I hate getting into that stuff in the preseason because, you know, it is preseason. It is limited reps. So I don't want to read too much into it either way. You don't want to get too hot or too cold either way based on the preseason, right? But we do want to get into it because this is what the people are here for, right? So starting with the quarterback position, guess what? Outside of that interception that Trevor Lawrence threw on the second play of the game, he was literally perfect. And he didn't play a lot of snaps. No, he did not. But he was very good. 5 of 5 outside of that interception, which was, according to Doug Peterson, a pass that just kind of slipped out of Trevor Lawrence's hands. He couldn't get enough on it. He was trying to hit Evan Ingram over the top, which may have been successful, but unfortunately was not able to get enough on it. Had the ball kind of slipping out of his hands. So other than that, 5 of 5, a touchdown throw where he had to stay poised, calm, cool, collected in the pocket, wait for Christian Kirk to uncover over the middle of the field, running past the deep safety, and it was a throw that was a thing of beauty. And then he was able to find Calvin Ridley a couple times before that. You like to see that, them getting that connection going in game. They've been hot together in practice and training camp practices, but getting them going in the game I think was important, having a couple connections there. And then the 2-point throw to Zay Jones to get the Jaguars an 8-0 lead was awesome. A lot of touch on the back of the end zone there. It was the perfect place for Zay Jones to go up and get it right above the defenders. I thought that was probably his most impressive throw of the day. He needed to show poise in the pocket on that one as well. But to me, the ball placement, the touch that he put on it, where only Zay Jones could go up and get that thing, thought it was awesome from Trevor Lawrence. Really good performance other than that interception, which I'm not worried about. I don't think you should be either. Now, getting into the other quarterback that I thought really stood out, C.J. Beathard played pretty well. But for me, Nathan Rourke, he was not perfect, but he was absolutely electric out there on the field for the Jaguars. Sometimes that's the type of quarterback, the backup quarterback, that you kind of like to see. They come in and inject some energy. They can kind of run around and do different things and make plays. But I think Doug would like to see more in structure and on-time plays from Nathan Rourke. But still, so much fun out there. Pitching the ball, throwing the ball off platform, odd arm angles, using his legs to get the job done. And then the throw at the end, breaking just about every single tackle that the Cowboys could throw at him. I think he broke 3 or 4 tackles and was getting tackled to the ground as he released the football for the touchdown. One of the best plays you'll ever see, regardless of preseason, training camp, regular season, playoffs, Super Bowl. That was an amazing play by Nathan Rourke. It was so much fun to see. And you saw him really come out of his shell, in my opinion, when the bullets were live. He looked like a gamer to me. I haven't seen him have that much success as a passer as he did in that game and training camp so far. So really good performance for him. I'm excited to see how he can continue to contribute and grow in this Jaguars offense through the rest of training camp in the preseason and kind of see how it shakes out there. Like I said, I do think you want to see more on time, more just end structure success from Nathan Rourke moving forward. But what he did out there was a lot of fun to see, and I'm excited to see what he does in week 2, preseason week 2 against the Lions as well. Now, getting to the offensive line, I have to start with rookie offensive tackle Anton Harrison, Jaguars first-round pick, 27th overall. Jaguars traded back a couple spots to get him. Loved the pick. Top 10 overall prospect on my board. I know I've mentioned that a million times, but getting in there at right tackle doing it at a new position. He played left tackle throughout most of his collegiate career, a very young player. Just turned 21 this year, will be 21 for the duration of the 2023 season. So the rookie right tackle, he was going up against Dante Fowler quite a bit. He was going up against Sam Williams a little bit as well. Both of those guys are contributors for the Cowboys pass rush. They're not just scrubs. Now Dante Fowler, he was able to get the best of him in one of those run blocking situations where Anton was just kind of put in a kind of a difficult situation. He was trying to get a little help, trying to help out the guard a little bit, and then trying to get back over to Dante on the backside. Couldn't quite get to him. But in pass protection, he was literally perfect, right? He looked incredible. He was able to show his athleticism, his anchor, his length, his smarts. He showed it all. Handled his business on bull rushes, speed rushes around the outside, games up front. He was able to pass those off. He put Dante Fowler Jr. in the ground twice. Anton Harrison was just such a fun watch in his first preseason game. Really kicked ass in pass pro. Like I said, perfect. In the run game, like I mentioned, Dante got the best of him on one play. He missed an assignment or two, but overall, he looked really strong there as well. He was able to show his strength literally by knocking one of the Cowboys linebackers into the dirt out on the move, and he showed good angling and framing on that play too. Just a really, really strong overall effort by Anton Harrison in his preseason debut. It went about as good as you could possibly hope for him. And then you saw several other offensive linemen playing really well. Blake Hansen, the starting lineup at left guard, he was really good in pass protection. I thought Brandon Sheriff looked as good as he's looked in a while in a game. He's fully healthy, but last year he was battling through various injuries, and so I think he looks like he's playing at that kind of Pro Bowl type of level that you expect from Brandon Sheriff when he's healthy. Luke Fortner looked really good, both in pass protection. He looks a lot stronger, a little bit better with his anchor, and he looked good getting out on the move and blocking it up for Travis Etienne and company. Josh Wells was also excellent at right tackle. I think he might have had the best game of any Jaguars offensive tackle in this one. Didn't have any poor reps, really. So good stuff for the offensive line overall. As I mentioned, and we'll dive into it later on, Cam Robinson and Walker Little did not have the best days over at left tackle. So we will talk about that later on. But continuing with the offensive standouts, I thought Britton Strange was a standout. He had 2 catches, showed his comfortable, reliable hands that he has displayed throughout training camp and throughout his career at Penn State. But his physicality, it was really off the charts. I mean, he was blowing people up. He was forklifting them off the ground, driving them back in 5-10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Just looking really good, both as a Y tight end and in space. Just blowing people up. Yeah, he did get the flag early, but I'm not worried about that one bit. He is going to bring a tenacity, a toughness to this offensive front that is going to kind of change things a little bit, in my opinion, in the running game, especially out there in space and on the edge. I think you saw some 3 tight end look, some 13 personnel. I think that will be fun in 2023 for the Jaguars, kind of taking a page out of Andy Reid's playbook there. Andy Reid ran a ton of 3 tight end looks last year and roasted the NFL with it. So I think you'll see the Jaguars do more of that. Doug Peterson and Andy Reid, mentee and mentor Doug Peterson, did a lot of his training as a coach and a player under Andy Reid. So getting into the running backs, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, Dearness Johnson, they all stood out in a big way for me. You just saw their talent on display. It's 3 really talented runners. Etienne looked fast and shifty, really, really good performance for him in limited action. Tank Bigsby, he showed off his speed on a 34-yard run, his contact balance, his leg drive, his overall power. I thought you saw it a good amount. And then Dearness Johnson, he's just a really balanced overall running back, a really strong overall game, made a nice effort on a ball down the field. I think he looks like he should be a lock for this roster, as I've mentioned before. So really good stuff there. And then from the receivers, almost all of them looked really good overall, really. Calvin Ridley, as I mentioned, had the 2 catches. He looked really confident with Trevor Lawrence over there on the outside. Christian Kirk had 2 catches as well, 1 for a touchdown. Zay Jones, his ability to go up and get that touch pass in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion, I thought was awesome. Seth Williams was hauling in some contested catches, really impressive. Jacob Harris had a big play down the field where he had to adjust the football and go to the ground to get it. That was awesome. Elijah Cooks looked perfect on the day. He had 2 catches for 42 yards as well. He looked really strong. His hands have been perfect throughout training camp. Those guys were all cooking. Parker Washington, he looked good out there as well. He had a catch or 2, also was able to convert, I think, a jet sweep into a nice little play, and he looked really good on punt return as well, but we'll talk about special teams later on. But that's my offensive standouts for the day. I thought overall, when you drop 28 points in a preseason game, you've had a pretty damn good effort with 3 different quarterbacks out there. The offense was humming in a lot of different ways. I think you saw their ability to be versatile, their fluidity, as Doug Peterson has talked about, which he expects that to be their offensive identity from play to play, drive to drive, down to down, game to game, week to week, right? Whatever you want to look at it, the Jaguars are going to be able to be multiple, versatile, and fluid on the offensive side of the ball. You saw that in preseason week 1. You want to continue to see that in preseason week 2 when they take on the Lions, both in joint practices and in their preseason week 2 matchup on Saturday at 1 p.m. in Detroit. Can't wait to get into that, but really appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Again, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Helps us out a ton. And if you want to support the channel further, you can check out genjag.com/shop. Pick up our new tie-dye Duvall throwback pre-order. Y'all have a good one.